morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Good morning. All right. Good to be back on. Welcome. We'll get started in a little bit. Hey, Carmen. Great to have you here. Good to see you here. We're going to get started in a second. We're talking 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love today. I missed you guys last Friday, so I'm going to make up for last week. And how are you doing this Friday? Again, if you're joining, welcome. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor. And every Friday, 11:30 to 1 o'clock, 1:30, whatever, depending on how the conversation is going, I'm here to discuss relationships, personal transformation, as well as anything in between. And so this is a very safe space. So welcome. We will get into everything as we go. I come on live every Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, I am. Thank you. I went away last weekend, spoke at a church in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Got the bowl in the tournament. Hung out. Hung out with my son and my pops. And so now it's back this week to get some work done. And hope you guys are all doing well. And if this is your first time here, please let me know where you're checking in from. I always like to say hello and greet you the right way. Also, I get a kick out of seeing where people are checking in from. I am in Delaware, Southern Delaware. I'm originally from New York. I've only been here about 7 years. And I'm a crisis specialist, human service counselor. I provide professional counseling for people who are struggling. Far Rockaway. Hey, I'm from Rochdale, South Jamaica, Queens, actually where I was born at, and used to work in Far Rockaway. 40th and Beach Channel Drive, right there at the community center, years ago. DMV, I was just down in that area this past weekend. So again, guys, we're going to get started in a little while. 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. So we're going to have that love conversation. Charlotte, North Carolina, I will be there next week. 2 weeks. I'm coming in for a wedding. I was supposed to perform the wedding, but somebody else is going to do the wedding. Good morning. And how was the week for you guys? How was your week? And my super moderator, Ellie. All right, Greenville, South Carolina. Cool. Good morning. My super moderator, Ellie, will not be here this morning, so things might move a little bit slower because I got to keep an eye on the chat to make sure we don't have any rudeness going on, because that's not something that we do here if this is your first time here. And again, if you're your first time here, thank you. And I appreciate you. Let me know where you're checking in from. And so let me just share some of the rules here. It's not many. One, this is an interactive space, so I'll be talking to you as I'm giving out what I'm doing. Shout out to Florida. I got a lot going on down there. What I do is I try to entertain, inform, and educate all at the same time. I am an author. I am a former classroom teacher and dean of students. Now I am a private counselor. I also run an after-school program, Roanoke, Virginia. Yeah, shout out to VA. And what I do when I am on social media of any type is to attempt to offer something that's going to make sense without all the drama. There is no drama that goes on here. It's just not accepted. It is what we're doing. And this is what it is. Shout out from Indianapolis. And so the goal here is to share with you information as a professional counselor. All of my previous shows are over on my YouTube page. So if you want to go back and look at some of the other subjects that I have covered, by all means. I am releasing a book probably within the next month, probably by the end of this month. 12 Steps in Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. that was inspired by a young lady here on TikTok. She gave me the idea, and I said, you know what, I'm going to write that book. So 4 months ago, when she gave me the idea, I decided to sit down and write that book, because when she explained to me that, people, when they get out of a negative situation, needs guidance, I said, you know what, I'll do that. Shout out from Brooklyn. I lived in Canarsie and taught right there on 100 and J, as well as I taught at Canarsie High School, too. And I taught in Bed-Stuy. My wife is originally from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I spent most of my life in New York. Originally born in South Jamaica, Queens General Hospital, 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, December 20th, 1967. I'm old. But yeah, and so the goal is to give information to help, because I hear a lot of talking on social media, but I'm about really trying to help people heal. And you can't heal without giving people sound solutions. So when I go through the 10 steps, make sure you have some paper or you can write it on your pen. And this is what we're going to go through. And this is what we do. And so again, I don't have my moderator, so you have to be patient with me. I'm keeping an eye on the chat as well. Okay, the other rule is right over here. See those hearts that are popping up? I have ADD. So that's why music is playing. And so with the music playing, it allows me to stay focused. I don't know how that works. It actually keeps part of my brain calm so I can stay focused here. But these hearts actually help too. The likes actually allow me to stay focused. Also, it's a way for you to let me know if you're digging what I'm talking about. So make sure you're tapping the screen. Make sure those hearts are going up. You may hear me a couple times throughout the live say. You may see me point. You may even see me look down over my glasses. That's the school teacher in me. And be like, hey, what we got going on over here? And so let's keep that heartbeat going over there. All right? I appreciate you that. So now, again, so here's the thing. How have you guys been this Memorial Week? And what did you do last weekend for Memorial Day weekend? I gave you a little bit about what I was doing. You tell me. Let's get this started today. So again, good morning and thank you for being here. But you guys tell me, how was your week? How has your week been? Let me hear that. How has your week been so far? I know it's always hard to come back to work after having 4 days or 3 days off, or if you took off on Friday, 4 days off. So what that look like for you? Just work. I got you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we come back after the holiday, we just got to get it in. And for a counselor, summertime or late spring going into the summer is rough because people tend to ghost the counselor because now they want to be outside. And that's okay. I understand it. So that's the reason why I write books and I do other things. So I'm working on a book, and the book will be ready soon. This will be book number 7 for me. So that's been occupying my time. Work all weekend. Really? Okay. Do you normally work the weekends, or you just working this weekend, or that's just the way your schedule pans out, Carmen? And yes, we're going to have that love conversation today, because I'm an old head, and it's funny because I get some people will say, "You're such a simp." I'm not a simp because I love love. I like a good romance. I think the thing that frustrates me more is that people have reduced love to the same level as like. And that drives me crazy because love is not supposed to be that. Love is supposed to be so much higher. Normally work. Okay, I got you. So your off days are during the week then, huh? And it's just crazy because when I talk to people, especially in my counseling sessions, and we're going to go through why so many people just they've given up on love. We're going to have that conversation. So I got 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Some of them you may figure out, some of them you may not know. But the goal for me is to be able to give a face to some things and then have a conversation about it. Because we can't fix what we don't talk about. And then we can't fix what we don't act on. So as a counselor, that is my job, to identify and then figure out how to help you once we identify what the problem is. All right? So again, I thank everyone that's here. We're going to get ready to get started. And again, if you're new, please check in and let me know where you're checking in from. And we're going to get ready to get started. I don't want to waste too much. Well, I'm not trying to waste any much time. We're going to be here for a little while. All right. So again, y'all want to hang out with me. If I miss anybody's conversation in the chat, please forgive me. Like I said, my super moderator, Ellie, she hit me up today. She has something to do today. And let me tell you something. The volunteer work that she does is incredible. So shout out New Jersey. You know, I went to school in South Jersey when I got kicked out of New York. Yeah, I was 16 on my way to jail. They sent me to South Jersey where I used to live at with my grandmother. Salem County. So I graduated Penns Grove High School 1985 for 1 year. It was either that or go to jail in New York. Texas, shout out to Texas. All right, so you guys ready? So if you're ready and you got your pencils and your paper ready, or you got your phones ready or your tablets, we're talking 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Now remember the rules here. I see no heartbeat. That means we're dying here. What's going on? I see no heartbeat here. Oh, that's south of me? Okay, yeah. Listen, I spent time up north. Where you at, North Jersey? There we go. There the heart's starting to beat. Come on. Tap that screen. Keep it going, guys. And again, that helps me. Believe it or not, it really does help me. There we go. I like to see that. And if I wish I could let you inside my head, the hearts actually keep me focused. And so don't get mad at your kids if they have ADD. Don't let them drug you out to tell you ADHD where they're giving you a whole lot of medication. But ADHD is real, but I have ADD. I have attention deficit. And my mother used to get on me all the time about, how come you don't pay attention? When actually, somebody with ADD is actually paying attention to everything. And that's why it seems like they can't pay attention to any one thing. So if you parents, do not wild out on your child if they seem to be involved in everything and you want to yell and scream, hey, what's going on, James? Appreciate you. And so I have ADD. So that actually, with all this going on, it actually helps me lock in as well as I'm listening to the music. All right. I am sorry, people get upset when they play you, so I'm not going to play no R. Kelly on the playlist there. There we go. Okay. So if you guys are ready, we're going to get started. What y'all doing over here? Really? Really? The heartbeat is real slow today. I don't know. We got to pick this pace up. All right, so here we go. Let's get this started. So if you guys are ready and you got your paper ready and you're ready to go through the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love, put a yes in the chat. There go the heartbeat. Put a yes in the chat if you're ready. Hey, great to have you here, Cornbread Lady. Love the name. But where you from, Cornbread? I like that. Cornbread Lady, okay. But if you guys are ready, put a yes in the chat. I'm ready. If you're ready to go through this list of 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. With a name like Cornbread Lady, it had to be something Southern. I am not mad at that. Here we go. There go the yeses. Come on, let me get 10 yeses. There's 2. Let's go. There's 3, 4. Let's go. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate you. There's 5. Let's go. Let's go. And yes, big strong man gonna talk about love. You know why? We all love, or we all love to be loved. And I think we gonna talk about that today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for the gifts whoever gave them. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go. Number one on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. And you guys are going to be my moderators too. If I miss anybody or there's anybody that's really out of pocket in the chat and I miss it, just let me know and I'll go ahead and delete. We don't get engaged with negativity here. This is a safe space. And feel free to respond and offer. And if I can answer your question, ask your question. I will gladly answer it. Okay? As long as we stay on the subject, guys. I want to try to keep to what we're doing. Never been loved. Ooh, that's a conversation, because the question now becomes, what's your definition of love? And that's a counseling thing, but that's an interesting one, because I've had that come up before where a lot of people say they never been loved, and we have to strip that back to see where we moved away from it never actually being a thing, because there's different variations of love. And in the Aramaic language, there's 13 different definitions of love. Like, I can love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I can love my kids, and I can love my wife, and I can love what I do as a career. And all 5 are different than each other. So there is something to it. But what we're looking at now is just love in general. So that is a interesting statement. Thank you, Kiki. Appreciate you sharing that. And again, this is a safe space to share about yourself as well. No one that ever cared for me. All right. Well, we're going to hopefully change that. Another thing here, guys, let's give Kiki some purple hearts as to let her know that we care about her here and that we're going to try to extend the love that we have for each other to you. So you're in a place where you can be loved here. So I'm glad that you're here, because you can be anywhere on a Friday. You're here with us. So let's put some purple hearts in the chat for Kiki just to let her know that she's appreciated here as well as everybody else that's here. So rock out with me and put some purple hearts. There we go. Thank you, guys. Now we're working. because love starts with self, and then we're going to extend that. All right, so number one reason, one of the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love is the fear of vulnerability. And also, if somebody, like I said, I don't have Ellie with me today, so you guys are going to be my deputy moderators today. As I give the list, drop it in the chat for anybody that might have missed it. So number one, on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love, is fear of vulnerability. All right, number one, fear of vulnerability. Let's put that in the chat. Good morning, Tammy. How are you and where are you from? Fear of vulnerability. Some individuals fear opening themselves up emotionally and being exposed to potential pain or rejection, leading them to avoid love altogether. Hey, Perfectly Imperfect. Great to have you. Good to see you. Thank you for the hearts. The rose. Thank you. Appreciate it. So number one, fear of vulnerability. Some people fear opening themselves up emotionally and being exposed to potential pain or rejection, leading them to avoid love altogether. Hey, how you doing? Okay, shout out to Memphis. Nice. Great to have you here. Hang out with us for a little while. Appreciate you. And great to hear, Tammy. So many of us, because we're fearful of being vulnerable, fearful of being hurt, we don't love. And that's understandable. As a counselor, this is what I deal with. I have people who are suffering from the pains of somebody hurting them years before that is preventing them from embracing love now. So it's perfectly natural. And again, if any of these register with you, reach out. I'm here. All my information is in my bio. And if you want to see previous shows, they're over on YouTube. They're all there. Something like 400 something videos. But yes, who in the chat now? Thank you so much. There we go. Hey, Jai's here. Thank you. So let me ask you guys in the chat, how many of you have blocked love because you were fearful of being hurt? Tell me that. How many of you have blocked yourself from love because you were fearful of being hurt? And the reason why I ask is I want us to see how much we all have in common. Myself included. Where's it at? Oh, okay. Where's my books? Looks like my daughter must have been here in my office, which she knows she's not supposed to. But okay. In my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, very fearful. I got you. We're going to help with that. In my book, From Gigolo to Jesus, I actually have, in chapter 2, it says sex versus love. I didn't know how, and I didn't know what love was when I was younger. So because of sex, I chose sex over love. Because I just didn't understand what love was. And way back then when I messed up, it made it very difficult to be comfortable with trying to find love. So I just stayed hypersexual, not knowing that I had love then and I had to work my way back. And it took a while. 37 years I was out here wilding out. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I used to feel that way. Always felt the man just wanted something and not. Yes. And that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. I want you to understand is that we're all connected to vulnerability. We're all connected to vulnerability when we're in pain or have been in pain. When somebody hurts us, our first reaction is to protect ourselves by closing up and shutting down. Because that's the way we protect ourselves. But sometimes that protection extends itself so much that we actually don't let nothing in. So there's no healing that comes in either. And I think that's what's difficult, is that many of us don't know how to get out of the very bubble that we created to protect ourselves. So fear of vulnerability is number one. All right, number two. Going along with number one. You guys ready for number two? Let me get 10 twos in the chat since y'all are here today. Let's go. Put twos in the chat if you're ready for number two on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Let's put those twos in the chat. And I thank you for interacting with me today. Thank you. And thank you for sharing this when I see you guys have shared this out. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on with the heartbeat over here? Really? I know y'all are listening to me, but remember, we got to tap the screen too. Good morning. Hey, Montana. Really? Look at the heartbeat. Look how our heartbeat is fading here. There we go. Let's keep that heartbeat going. Y'all see that heartbeat slugging over there? Somebody put in the chat, tap the screen. We don't have our super moderator today, Ellie, so I'm going to rely on all the regulars. They know what to do. Okay, number 2. On the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love, right? Past heartbreaks or betrayal. Number 2, somebody can put this in the chat. Past heartbreaks or betrayal. Experiences of previous romantic failures or being betrayed by someone that we trusted can make people hesitant to embrace love again due to the fear of the repeating past pain. Hey, thank you, Tim. Past. I'm listening at work. No problem. I got you. Don't get in trouble at work. Please don't. I don't want nobody writing me in my inbox going, I got in trouble with my boss listening to you. Don't do that. But past heartbreak or betrayal. It is very difficult for us to get past being hurt by somebody that we cared about. So we take love off the table. Because if we love somebody and was hurt by them, it is hard to trust again. Now, I know everybody's going to say me, but I'm going to ask anyway. Put me in the chat if that has happened to you, that you love somebody that you trusted and they did you dirty. And I'm both. I've been the person done dirty and I was the person that did somebody dirty. So I have been both. I used to be the wolf. Now I'm the shepherd. And I'm the shepherd because I know what it is to hurt people. So now the job is to try to help and protect as many as I can because I understand that. I don't know why the heartbeat is fading right there. We're talking about love. That heartbeat should be thunderous right now. Where's the heartbeat right now? Dirty is an understatement. I understand. Are you referring to me, Amy, or are you just referring in general? I'll take me for 100, Alex. Okay. I understand. Listen, and this is, dirty. Okay, I'm not sure, because here's the thing, guys. We are going to make mistakes, and then some people, they set out to do, or what happened to you. I got you, Amy. And this is what I want you to understand. You can't control what someone else did to you. You also can't control the initial pain. It's going to hurt. I get it. Where I come in as a counselor is that I have to be able to pierce that bubble and help you find your way back to where you can get yourself back to happiness. And that's happy with self. That's also why I'm writing the book, So Scared to Trust. It's been 12 years. I got you, Amy. And that's part of the reason why the book that I'm writing, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship, is that so many people that were, and this is what I've learned from the research of doing the book. So many people who were in toxic situations literally had the happiness ripped from them. So much so that they've given up, that they stayed. Hey, look at the kiss. I like that. That's cute. So much so that they stayed with the person abusing them because they had just given up. In my research, I realized that men and women just gave up and said, I'll stay with the devil I know. And they got scared. Hey, hello, crispy fried chicken. Appreciate you. Let us know where you're from. And so the fear of the pain of past heartbreak and betrayal is part of what keeps us from embracing love. And I think it's important because I wrote it that way, of embracing love. Love just doesn't come. When it shows up, you got to embrace it, meaning you got to be open to having love be a part of your life. And it's not easy. Let's change this here a little bit here. All right, there we go. Go ahead, Mary. You got to embrace love, meaning that you have to, inside yourself, look at that heartbeat, guys. You got to embrace yourself in like, ooh, I want this. But you got to be okay with you. And that's what makes love so difficult, is that we have to love self first, which means we have to be okay with what happened and then figure out a way to guard ourselves from what happened, but then be able to be open-minded that we can go forward and find a way that it doesn't happen again. Now, does that guarantee it's not going to happen again? No. It doesn't guarantee anything. But if you can work on changing you, you can at least change your situation. Have to leave. I'll catch up on YouTube. Okay. Well, be safe in your travels. Okay. I'm going to be nosy. Where you headed to, Perfectly Imperfect? Let's be nosy. And let's give Perfectly Imperfect some purple hearts before she gets on the road or plane or boat or whatever she's traveling. Let's give Perfectly Imperfect some purple hearts as she goes to travel. No, never rush love. Ohio. Okay. Well, travel safely. Let's give her some purple hearts as she heads out on her travels. Let's cover her with some purple hearts and tell her we wish her well on her travels. No, you should never rush love. Love is like good food. You do not rush good food. You do not rush to cook good food. There's no such thing as fast food that equals good cooked food. You must take your time with it. It must come from inside. Thank you. You're welcome. Perfectly Imperfect. Travel safely. Love must come from the inside. You must love yourself. You must find a way to embrace love inside of you to ever have it come back to you. You can't share something that you don't know how to experience. So self-love has to be the starting point. Has to be. You have to have such a love for yourself that when you open up your heart to somebody, they can sense that. Now, does that mean they're going to respond the right way? We already know that they may not. You guys ready for number 3? First of all, get that heartbeat going. Let's go. Let's get that heartbeat up. Hey, shout out from San Diego. Hey, Kim. What y'all doing with the heartbeat over here? Really? Y'all playing games with me today. What's going on? I know I missed last Friday. Y'all punishing me for not being here last Friday? I had to go away. I had to speak at a church in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Come on now. Let's keep that heartbeat going. I'm back. I'm ready. All right. Y'all ready for number 3? Let's put some 3s in the chat. Montana's already ahead of me. Let's go. Put some 3s in the chat. Let's get 10 3s as we move on to the top 10 reasons, not top 10, 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Let's go with number 3. Let's get those 3s in the chat. There we go. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Let's get this on our notes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And yes, the video for me speaking at the church on the myths of mental health in the church is over on my YouTube page as well. That's the last video I uploaded. And I'll upload this one sometime tonight or tomorrow. Okay, here's another one. And the reasons why people refuse to embrace love. What? Yeah, I was a higher calling ministry is the church I spoke at in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. All right, number 3 in the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love is the fear of losing independence. Somebody put that in the chat. Number 3, the fear of losing independence. The fear of losing independence. Some individuals may concern about losing their freedom and autonomy in a committed relationship, which can hinder their willingness to fully embrace love. Some people don't or feel that they're going to give up independence if they're in love. And this is why dating is so important, guys. It is so important because in dating, you get to feel out what this could be if y'all take it to the next level. All right, you know what? Let me do something here. Where's my? Oh, did I miss this? Hold on, what's going on here? I'm missing my music here. I changed computers, and all of a sudden my iTunes, I've lost. All right, this here. Nope. I will call back in a little bit. All right, 3 is me. Okay, I got you. Let's see what I'm missing here. Okay, there you go, Luther. What's up, Luther? He bad. There we go. All right, let's get back on track. Hey, where's them heartbeats here? 3 is you. I feel you, Amy. Okay, Montana, last day. Okay, listen. Blessings to you and the little one. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself with your young sir there. Be that grandma that he needs. Let's go. See you later. So yes, fear of losing independence. And I've had that conversation with men and women in counseling sessions. I've had men say, well, yo, I ain't trying to get trapped down and I don't want no woman telling me what to do. And I'm like, hold on a second, bro. I'm like, if you love somebody, how is it being trapped? How are you losing if you're in a loving relationship? I've had women say the same thing as I don't want to be trapped down. And it's the negative terms about love that gets me, is that you're supposed to be gaining when you're in love. You're supposed to be gaining a partner, gaining somebody who's going to be there for you. We're talking love here. And this is why I said I believe love has been reduced to the level of like, because we're talking about love like we do when we like somebody. That's not supposed to be the case. Love is supposed to be way up here. Like is down here. Love is way up here. But somehow we done moved love down to the same level as like, and we're treating it in a way that really shouldn't be. And so, yes, number 3 is the fear of losing independence. And I have had people sit in my counseling sessions and literally say, I love him, I love her, I just don't want to give up my independence. And I'm like, wow, okay. I'm going through this right now. I've known him for 6 days. He is very clingy and needs to see me every day. That's why you date, Kim. Because in the dating, you get to see as a lot of the bad habits. And I'm a believer. Now, it's just me. And I'm going to say this professionally, and I'm going to say this personally. I'm going to say this as a former cheater, and I'm going to say this as a professional counselor. I think everyone should date for at least a year to see the person that you're interested in through all 4 seasons. Because in a year, you would have seen all birthdays, all engagements, all special dates in terms of people passing. You get to see him or her in sports seasons or whatever. Cold weather, hot weather. I think everybody should date for a whole year. And I think that's what's necessary. I think if you do that, I think you're in a good place. That's just me. And I think in that year, if you're really focusing on each other, then I think y'all will be where you'll be able to see a lot that can help you. What is the difference of dating? Well, dating allows you to feel things out without being committed completely. You have a trap door to go, this ain't working, I'm out. Once you get into a serious, exclusive relationship, you've cornered yourself off. Also, by dating, you can protect your heart. Because you may really care for somebody, but before you see if this is really love, you have an opportunity to date to see. And you should be dating multiple people. You don't have to be exclusive right away. Now, if you connect that to, oh, he is all so, well, slow down. Is it your pace, though? He may want to move at his pace, but are you moving at your pace? Always remember that when you're dating, it should be at your pace. When you're with anybody, the pace should be what makes you comfortable, because the goal is when you get it exclusive, y'all are both being fed from the relationship. Well, if you told me you can't do it, that's it. Hey, what's going on with the heartbeat over here? Really? This what y'all doing here? I take a week off. This is what's happening here? Y'all better come on over here with this heartbeat. Let's go. Come on. Tap that screen, guys. I've been with my partner for almost 5 years. I don't need to check on him all day. There you go. And each person is different. I don't believe in multiple dating. I got you, and that's okay. I understand. I do. I don't believe in going out and sleeping with everybody, but I think you should go out and date to keep your options open until you decide who is going to be exclusively with you and vice versa. But everybody's entitled to how they believe. If you feel uncomfortable, you are always in right to break it off if you don't feel comfortable. My thing is just make sure the reason why you're breaking it off is sound for you. If you're uncomfortable, yeah, you step back and get yourself together. You don't have to cut them off completely, but if things are moving too quickly, put the brakes on. It's got to be right for you. Always remember, when you're dating, you are the major person in the relationship too. So it has to move at a pace that works for you. Don't just throw yourself out there and move at somebody else, male or female. Don't just move at somebody else's pace, because then you're giving away your control of your life to them. Don't do that. And you're giving away your emotions to them. Don't do that either. But yes, guys, so number 3 was fear of losing independence. Okay, we ready for number 4? On the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. And let me reset the room a little bit. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor. I come on every Friday from 11:30 to about 1 o'clock, 1:30, depending on how the conversation is going. And my goal is to offer information for personal development, personal growth. I give relationship information. I am a former educator, dean of students. I am an author. And I come on every Friday to help educate, entertain, and inform the best that I can. Hey, I am good, Solomon. Appreciate you. Doing what I can, trying to serve the Lord the best I can my way. And hopefully it resounds with other people. So I appreciate all of you being here. Okay, so I see the number 4's up, and I also see the heartbeat is slowing down. I'm going to keep reminding y'all. Y'all better, hey, look at that. What is that? That's a heart. I like that. Let's go. Okay, so number 4. Number 4 on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Negative self-image or low self-esteem. Some of us suffer from low negative self-image and low self-esteem, so that's what prevents us from embracing love. Many of us don't even believe we're worthy. I like that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Ray Ray. I struggle with that every day. I got you, Keena. And this is why we're talking about it. Negative self-image is how we see ourselves. And a lot of times when I hear somebody tear themselves down, I stop and say, don't say that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't speak that into yourself. Because we have to be careful. Hey, okay, Kim, appreciate you. Hope to see you here next Friday. Thank you for spending some time with me. We have to be careful how we see ourselves. Sometimes the pain that somebody else has caused us, could be parents, could be somebody that we're dating, We pour negativity into ourselves when we tear ourselves down. And it drives me crazy, especially as a former school teacher. I would hear kids tear themselves down. I say, hey, stop that. Don't do that. Don't speak that about yourself, because if we talk to ourselves that way, we are leaving the door open for other people to treat us badly. Self-esteem is self, esteem of self. Loving oneself is what helps build us up. Okay, so we have to have a positive image, and we have to raise our self-esteem up by believing that we are worthy. I had someone say to me the other day, I am not worthy of love. And I said, why? She said, because nobody has loved me. I said, you haven't met them yet, but you are definitely worthy of love. If we speak death into our lives, well, we are killing ourselves slowly. I am blessed because I love me and everyone around me. Let's go. That's what it is. And we have to be careful. And I'm going to get to some of that too, who we have around us. But it's very important. Everyone is worthy of love. Everyone. Unfortunately, we will put ourselves in circles with people who don't do that. It's also one of the reasons why I don't do drama. I don't do drama in my real life, and I definitely ain't doing drama on social media, because I can't be anywhere where there's a lot of ignorant noise, and I definitely can't be anywhere where there's a lot of negativity. It bothers me, because that's not solving anything. And the longer you stay in proximity to negativity, you start to become negative. And I'm telling you, I've watched it with kids in the classroom. Even the best kid in the classroom, let the class stay out of control for too long, you'll even see the best kids start to act a fool. And good classroom management is based on the understanding that you have to keep control throughout to make sure that the positivity level stays up. We need to make positive. Yes, we're supposed to. The problem is we pay too much attention to negativity. Watch it right here on this app right here. We spend hours, well, no, I don't. There are people who spend hours on this app having negative conversations. That's affecting them because you're there. Remember, whatever you're in proximity to, over time will have an effect on you. It's like radiation. If you're close to radiation, you're going to eventually expire. It's going to seep into your body and cause you to disappear. So you want to be as far away from negativity as possible. That's why this is a safe space. The minute that I see negativity here, I don't engage it. I delete it. Well, I don't have to converse with you because you said something negative. I get people who say negative things in my inbox. This is what you'll get from me. Okay. Or 3 or 4 smiley faces. I don't have to engage with you because you negative. Why? What's going on with these heartbeats here? Really? Y'all playing with me today. Y'all better stop playing with me. Because, and I say this all the time, well, no, I'm not going to let somebody talk about me. They better keep my name out their mouth. How can you control that? You can't control what somebody says, so why even give it that type of attention? Why even give it that much energy? Okay, listen, Jesus Christ, who was the only perfect person, and people will say, only Jesus was perfect, and they killed him. So you think I'm worried about what somebody going to say about me? You need to go to the gym. Okay. I'm with you. I'm going to the gym. You're fat. Yeah, but I'm loved. And I'm cute. Yeah, but shut up. You can't even figure it out. You can't make me negative. I can be negative in your eyes, but you can't make me negative. How? Too strong for that. Who cares what other people say? Hey, let me tell you something. A ton of people do. A ton of people care what other people say, and you see it right here on this app, all the apps. You'll see somebody say, I saw that you posted on your page about something that I said, and I don't like the fact that you put my name in your mouth. Really? So what? How much radiation is coming off your house, sweetheart? I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is I try to remove what I do know, or what I can control. Thank you so much. And that's the thing, is I control what I can control. Me. I can control my emotions. I can control how I think. I can control what I do. So I'm worried about what somebody else does when I can't control that. And I'm going to now give you room inside my head because you have something negative to say about me. And here's another thing that I've found over the years, that often the same people complaining are the same people envious of you. I have had I have worked with people on all different levels. Hey, y'all know this magazine here? Put a yes in the chat if you know this magazine here. Put a yes in the chat if you know this magazine or you've ever seen this magazine right here. Put a yes in the chat. Because I don't like to just talk to be talking. I show receipts. Put a yes in the chat if you have seen this magazine. You've seen Ebony before? Yes or no? Come on, put in the chat. Put in the chat. Oh, some of you have, huh? Who's that dude right there? Who is that dude right there? Who is that guy right there? Who is that guy right there? Y'all tell me. Who? Oh, there we go, Ahead. Who is that? Yeah, that's me. You see why I'm not worried about what people have to say about me? Because people will go and look at the number. Oh, I just dropped something. Hold on a second. People will go and look at the number of followers that you have, and they'll say something foolish of like, you don't have enough people to talk to me. Brother, sister, I have been in a magazine that was all around the world. So I'm going to worry about what you say when you don't really know that much about me? I've been in an international magazine that I was invited to have a conversation to discuss why love is not supposed to hurt. So I've been doing this for a little while. And the reason why I say that is not to flex, but to show you that what somebody says is not supposed to matter. It's how you feel about you. So back to number 4, a negative self-image or low self-esteem. People with negative self-esteem or people with negative self-image or low self-esteem struggle to believe they are worthy of love, leading them to resist embracing it. When we breathe this negativity in ourselves, we will block ourselves off even when love is staring us right in the face. I have had people in counseling sessions say, I know he loves me. I know she loves me. But I'm just not worthy, or I can't give him or her what she need. I can't give them what they need. And why would anybody love me? And I don't look the right way. And I'm fat and I'm skinny and I'm too dark. I'm too light. And I don't have long hair. I have short hair. All the foolishness that I've heard. But then I'll say, but didn't the person see all that before they came to love you? Yeah, but maybe he's just not seeing everything. Maybe she's just not understanding. We can't do that. We can't allow ourselves to breathe negativity into ourselves. If y'all don't tap this screen, y'all going to listen. What's going on with the heartbeat over here? Really? Y'all playing today. Let's get to 25,000 likes and stop playing. Y'all better keep tapping the screen here. Now, here's a big one. Y'all ready for a big one here? This one I deal with on a regular basis. If y'all ready for number 5, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat if y'all are ready. Don't be fooled. Hold on a second. Don't be fooled by the car they drive or clothes they wear. They feel or self-rated. Yes, without question. I like that one. Because it's not about the obtainable things. It's about the things that the person is. The thumb hurting from tapping. I get you. All right, take a break in between. Work your thumb out and come on back. I got you. But yeah, thank you for the 5s. Here we go, because 5 is a big one. And again, I don't worry about how people judge me. I don't. Like, I only come on live once a week. And every now and then I'll pop in somebody else's live if the subject is to what I talk about. Like, I go into a basketball live. I'm a former international coach. I don't say anything, but I love basketball. But that's not what my platform is. But when I go over there, I love to talk about basketball. I had a person come over and respond about basketball on a post that had nothing to do about basketball because they just felt they had to tell me something about I said earlier. And I was like, bruh, I don't do basketball over here. You should have got at me over there. But okay, if that's what you want. And before I go to number 5, right? Now, I want you to be very honest with me in the chat. Come on now, I want y'all to be honest with me. How many of y'all have a real hard time with not responding? How many of y'all, when y'all see some negativity about you, or when somebody say, boy, that next game was something. Yes, it was. I'm not going to have a basketball comment. Don't drag me into that. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was actually pretty good. Nuggets are too big. We needed a class started young on an interpersonal relationship. Yes, I do that. I have a mentor program that I work out of different schools. Okay, how many of you struggle with when somebody says something negative without responding? How many of you is a struggle that you feel you got to respond when somebody says something negative to you? Put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. I see the hand up. Put me in the chat or put your hand up like Kay just did. I like that, Kay. Thank you. How many of you struggle? Me. Okay, I used to, but not now. Me? Okay. Here's the big question before I go to number 5. Why? Why do you guys who said yes, and I feel you, T, and I feel you, user 2392, and I'm not going to read the rest of the numbers. You guys who said me, why? Put it in the chat. Why do you feel like you have to say something? That was something I got rid of years ago. Actually, maybe 25 years ago, maybe more. But why do you guys feel you have to? Because you feel like you're under attack. Okay, I like that one. That's one I've heard before in counseling sessions. You feel like you're under attack and you have to protect yourself. That has come up in counseling sessions. Anybody else? Why they feel they have to respond when they see or hear something? And some of this goes all the way back to elementary school for some of us. Need to defend myself. Okay, so you guys have said need to defend yourself, and I know that was going to be one of the answers, right? What are you defending yourself from if nobody has actually touched you? And you are of no physical threat. Triggered. I got you, Amy. I have divorced myself from my opinion. Okay. Flight or fight? Fight or flight? Yeah, it's a possibility. Mine was from always being picked on. There we go. There we go. That's what I was trying to get to. Thank you, user. It goes back to feelings we had when we were younger. It depends on who and the delivery, but I generally need to sit on it for a while. Got you, Rotunda. But many of the reasons why we feel we have to defend ourselves because it goes back to a time when we were unable to, which is not a them thing, it is an us thing. Often, if we were in a position where we could not defend ourselves or we were treated badly or worse, abused, that became part of the emphasis for why we feel we have to attack. And I hear people when I listen to them argue, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to deal with that no more. What point did they come from? So if you listen, you can hear where a lot of the pain originates from. What's going on with the heartbeat? Y'all better start. Not everybody's thumb is sore. Y'all better switch fingers. Yes, I became mean for my child. Yes, and many of us, the reason why we do what we do, and this is where it affects us embracing love, is because it's how love was introduced to us years before. Or if love was taken from us, or if we were beaten, or if we were hurt. So number 5, here we go. No, you're driving. I got you, James. Number 5, fear of rejection. To be fair, I don't refrain from fisticuff. I got you. Listen, if you still laying hands on, do you? I'm not trying to go to jail right now. Big brothers of color go to jail if we put hands on. I'm not mad at you if you put hands on. If you still in that stage where hands on work for you, I'm not mad. Sometimes I'm of the belief hands go on when there's a physical threat. I don't believe of laying hands on over words. But if you are one of those people, I ain't mad at you. If you're one of those people like, oh, you said something? I'm not mad at you. Big issues of mine. Yes, number 5, fear of rejection, guys. Number 5 on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love, fear of rejection. The fear of rejection or not being accepted by someone they care about can prevent individuals from fully embracing love and taking the necessary risk. I do refrain. I got you. A hand? Is it a hand? Okay. So many of us, because we're scared of being rejected, will literally just go, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not even considering love. Thank you so much for the hearts there. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. And I get it. I have that conversation too in counseling sessions where I've heard people say, but what if she doesn't like me? Or what if she doesn't say I love you back? And what if she never feels the same way that I do? And what if he doesn't respond when I tell him that I care? And what happens? Listen, this whole thing is a risk at times. And we have to put ourselves out there. When you really are in love, Oh, listen, you've placed your whole life sometimes in the hands of somebody else. Yeah, these are risks that we have to take if you want to get there. And that's why love is supposed to be way up here. Because it's supposed to be something that we work so hard to get to that we're willing to take the risk. But when we lower it down here and like is here and we put love right above like, we take unnecessary risk and gain nothing from it, which then causes us to become salty. And once we become salty, we got an issue. Because now we look through a lens that's dirty. And we look at love in a way that we shouldn't. Love is always a gamble. But the risk, the reward is supposed to outweigh the risk. And that's why we're supposed to date with the idea of getting to know somebody. So if I'm going to take that risk with them, I am gaining because I took the risk. Many of us haven't put enough time in. So we take a risk without all the information or enough time. And what do we learn about stocks? It says past performance is not indicative of future performance. So if we do that with our money, how come we don't do that with our hearts? Hands with you. Woo! My hand. Let's go. Okay. So at number 5, anytime I give a list of 10, I stop after number 5 to take a little music break. Let me see what I feel like listening to right now. Hold on a second. Let me pick this up a little bit. Makes me realize. Oh, you know what? No, I can't play that. I'm going to play the song that my wife and I danced to at our wedding. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is, now you get to put down your pens. We're not going to take any more notes. I'm going to take a quick music break, and then we're going to come back to number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay? All right, so while the music is playing, you guys are going to be tapping the screen. I want to see that heartbeat here. This is what my wife and I danced to at our wedding, which our anniversary is coming up August 12th. We got married in 2007, so it'll be 16 years, but we've been together for 20, going on 23. We've been together since 2000. Let's see what this says here. Because we hired people in our hearts without doing, yeah. We put more energy into how we look at a house than we do someone that we love, or a car. We spend more time researching the car than we do the person that we're trying to love. Come on, John Legend. All right, here we go, guys. Y'all tap that screen while John Legend's singing. And if you have any questions, just throw it in the chat. I will gladly answer while the music's playing. And I take my mental back to my wedding day. That's another thing, too. Don't feel bad to go back and reflect on positive moments. To a place only lovers go. To a spot that we've never known. My wife and I danced for this. And this is my second marriage. I screwed the first one up, guys. How long were you and your wife before you proposed? 6 years. But I had to fix me. I wasn't husband material. I had to get me right. We had to get past the cheating and everything else. I had to grow. I was still coming off of a bad marriage, and I wasn't being the man I was supposed to be. So from 2000 to late 2005, early 2006, I had to get me together. And it was because of the strength of my wife and God. And then for that year and change, I fixed me. So by the time we got married, I was a different man. But I had to grow into being the man that I was supposed to be. But she held on to who she was supposed to be as a woman. And that's super important. You can't change a man, but your energy can help him find his way. Your energy can be his light. God was the other light. So she was an anchor for me. Basically, as I tell people all the time, she held the crown for me while I was trying to find me. And then when I was able to find me, she handed me back my crown and was like, go ahead and take your spot. So it wasn't her changing me, it was her remaining who she was that forced me that if I wanted to be with her, I had to be something different. And then God did the rest. Working on getting married for the second time after being widowed. This is a single world, no words. I understand. And in your situation, it's very difficult, so my condolences. Patient woman, but she saw my gifts more than I did in him. She saw my gifts more than I did, and then her strength allowed me to not only see my gifts, but to want more from my gifts. But every woman has to figure out her own position. Every man has to figure out his own position. And then you have to figure out if the love is going to be what you two want. So just because my wife and I were able to overcome that doesn't mean everybody else is. I asked because I'm ready to be married after almost 5 years. He's dragging his feet. Have that conversation with him. Maybe he's nervous. Maybe he's not sure for some of the reasons that we're talking about here. Have that conversation and you guys work on it. Because if you're ready and he's not, have that conversation. Help him to get to where you are within himself. And again, if you're just joining, please let me know where you're joining in from. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor, every Friday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, 1:30 depending on the conversation. I come on live to try to offer information on personal development, relationships, or anything else in between. And I am here to try to educate, inform, and entertain you while you are here. So by all means, let me know what state or what part of the world you are checking in from. And we'll get back to our list. Today we are talking about 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Number 1 was fear of vulnerability. Number 2 was past heartbreak and betrayal. Number 3 was fear of losing independence. Number 4 was negative self-image or low self-esteem. And number 5 was fear of rejection. Hey, shout out from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Let's go. I did. The intention is there. He said he wants to propose when he's ready and not feel pressured. Okay. So y'all talk about it. Don't let it stretch too long, but let him rock from his position. Laughter is everything. And if you can laugh together, that's it. Laughter is one of the things that we talk about. Actually, my wife and I are creating a book, a guide on marriage. That's the next project. Well, second to next project. I have another one I'm working on after this book. I have a book coming out later on this month, probably late June, early early July. 12 steps on recovering from I got this. Okay. I forgot what I'm playing here. Okay. So, yeah. And transparency has to be the key. Transparency should be part of your makeup in your relationship. And being friends first instead of jumping into lovers. Yeah, listen. But that's a hard one because cats hit the sheets quickly. And I get it. First time here from Cleveland. Thank you for, okay. Yes, this is what I do. This is what help looks like. Who's that, Shania? And when I talk about help, I hear a lot of people talk and everything else. True help comes from giving. And I try to give. Listen, this is why I'm on Fridays. I am trying to let people know I am the real deal. This is what I do, and I do this for a living. All right, you ready? You guys ready to get back to the list? Because the heartbeat was real raggedy during the music, but we're going to hang in there. All right, so y'all ready to get back to the list? Let's go. Say, let's go. All right, put a 6 in the chat. If you're ready to get back to the list, put a 6 in the chat. Let's get started. Hey, Henderson, North Carolina. Shout out from North Carolina. I'll be in Charlotte in 2 weeks for a wedding. One of the kids from my mentor group is taking a wife, and I can't wait to be there. I was supposed to perform the wedding, but I'm unable to in North Carolina. They changed the laws, so I cannot use my ordinance to be able to perform the wedding. I was excited too, but I will be in attendance for my former student. And again, thank you so much for the 6s. All right, here we go. We're going to go to number 6 reason why people refuse to embrace love. You guys are going to get back to tapping that screen. Let's go. Let's try to get to 20,000 hearts. Let's see if that's possible. All right, here we go. Number 6 reason why people refuse to embrace love is emotional baggage from past relationships. Ooh, here we go. Let me say that one again for the people in the back. Emotional baggage from past relationships. Somebody put that in the chat for me. Number 6 is emotional baggage from past relationships. Carrying unresolved emotional baggage from past relationships can make it difficult for people to trust and open themselves up to new romantic connections, hindering their ability to embrace love. Many of us talk about this, but yet we do not actually look at it because many of us don't come to counseling. So we are carrying around pains from other relationships that are long over. I have been out of my first marriage for 23 years. I do not have any emotional baggage connected to it. I let that go a long time ago. And if I hadn't, I would have never been able to embrace the love that God brought me. And that's super important, is because a lot of times I'm talking to somebody, I say, how long ago were you and your ex together? And they'll go, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So you're allowing somebody who 7 years ago hurt you to still continue to hurt you when they're out doing for themselves. I'm here to help fix that. We're going to have to find a way to let that go. And part of that is if you double back to number 4, all right? Number 4 and number 5 is super important. So when you look at number 6, emotional baggage from past relationships, I go back and focus on the fear of rejection as well as the negative self-talk and low self-esteem. I go back to try to help the person build themselves up so they can become firm and sturdy in themselves so they can let go of the pains caused by somebody else. You cannot look behind you and look forward at the same time. It is impossible. So if you're still holding on to what's going on behind you, you will be blocking the things that are to come. And especially my brothers and sisters who are of faith, Muslim, Christian, whatever. You have to trust your faith that you're going to be okay as you go forward. Talk to him, Keisha Cole. Let her go. Keisha Cole understands. Might have to hear that one again, because that's what we're talking about. Let it go. Let me hear that again. Let's go. Come on, Keisha Cole. It's not where he's at, it's where he want to be. Talk to him, Keisha. And that's super important. It's not where you're at, it's where you want to be, and that's the situation of relationship. It is not where you came from. It is not who hurt you. It is what you are doing about that hurt so you can go forward to be the better you. Your man be like that. Come on. But it's very important. We cannot go forward if we're going to still hold on to the past. We have to feel comfortable enough to let it go. Do the work on ourselves to fix us. So as we go forward, we're not dragging baggage forward and then tossing that bags at the new person that wants to be involved. Because they're like, yo, what's this? And then they leave. And that self-fulfilling prophecy of, see, I told you don't nobody want me. No, we can't do that. All right, real talk time. Who in the chat right now deals with some of that? Put it in the chat right now. Just put me. You don't have to tell me anything more than that. Put me in the chat if that's something that you were doing at one time or still doing. You don't have to tell me which. Just put me. If you were a person that was blocking off the new because you were still dealing with the old. The emotions of the old. Hopefully you're not still dealing with the person that hurt you. Just put a me in the chat. You don't have to tell me any more than that. We don't want to expose anybody. I don't want anybody to feel negative. I just want us to see that we're all connected. And it is difficult. And let me just say this. I may say things easy because I am a trained speaker. That doesn't mean the things that I'm talking about are easy to deal with. Let me just say that right now. I am a paid speaker, so I know how to speak. But it doesn't mean that the things I'm talking about are easy to deal with. As a professional counselor, we really have to work on digging into the dirt and getting out the roots so the flowers can grow healthy. So a lot of times when I'm working with somebody, we really have to work on some things that hurt. And I tell people in my counseling sessions all the time, we're going to go back into the past to get information, not emotion. We're going to go back into your past to figure out what created this. And then we're going to look to bring you forward and just deal with the actions, not the emotions. Because if you bring the emotions forward, that means you're hurting here in 2023 from something that happened years before. We don't want to do that. Or at least I'm not going to try to let you do that. But if you choose to, I can't force you to do anything. It is not for me to change you. It is for me to get you to consider a new pathway. If I can do that, then I did my job. Thank you so much for the shares, and I appreciate the follows. Come on, keep that heartbeat going as we go to number 7. Not dealing now, but the memory is still there. Oh, memory's always going to be there. The memory doesn't go anywhere. It's the effect of the memory. Memories mean we're healthy. It is the allowing the memories to hurt us when we're no longer with the person. Because we're human. We're supposed to have our memories. Our memories is what gives us discernment, what gives us sound judgment. It is how we are affected by our memories is why counseling is necessary. Because if our memories are overwhelming our present, then the reality we can't actually be who we're supposed to be because we're still suffering through something that's not an issue. And once we can understand our triggers and how to deal with those triggers, we can put ourselves in the best situation. And that's what I try to do in the counseling session and conversation, is to help build you up by helping you get a better understanding of self. Go, let it go. Okay, so here we go. Let me just move back here. All right, so you guys ready for number 7? Put 7 in the chat. Let me get 7 sevens in the chat. Let's go. Let me get 7 sevens in the chat. Let's go. Come on. And we're going to go on to number 7. There's 1. There's 2. There we go. Keep it going. Who cheated? Rattan said, I'm just going to give all the 7s. That still counts as 1 7, though. Thank you. Let's get a couple more 7s. We're going to move on. I'm not mad at that, though. I feel she's like, I just want the answer. Let's get to it. Or he. I apologize. I don't want to make any assumptions. I don't want to offend anybody. So I apologize. All right. So number 7, prioritizing. All right. Hold on a second. Let me change the song here. Another form of Let It Go. There we go. James Bay, Let It Go. Okay. So number 7. On the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. People will prioritize their career or personal goals over love. People will prioritize their career or personal goals over love. If this is you, put that in the chat. If you said, I gotta get this career off the ground, I'm working right now, I'm just trying to build my money. Put me in the chat, whether you've experienced it or it has been you. Put me in the chat if you're prioritized or been a part of a situation where somebody prioritized their career or personal goals over love. Some individuals prioritize their career or personal aspirations over romantic relationships, making them less willing to embrace love fully. Okay. Oh, let it be. Love this song. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? Great lyrics to this song, by the way. James Bay, Let It Go. And I'm a big fan of lyrics of music, so I'm a music junkie. But yes, many of us, and there's nothing wrong with that, but please understand, the one thing that we do not control is time. And I know love doesn't always present itself at the best time. I get that. And I'm not telling anyone not to search out their dreams or their careers. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying weigh the options. Hello, Kabo. I am saying weigh the options, and definitely has to be a balance. And there's no heartbeat there. Really, I just gave up on the hearts. Really, this what we doing? Really, I got to work harder. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm going to keep telling you, time waits for no person. But that's why you have to weigh it out. And I think, as Kiana just said, it is a balance. And it is a tricky balance. I switched thumbs. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep those heartbeats going. Come on now, guys. Let's get to 20K. And it's important because I'm never going to tell somebody to not focus on their career. But please understand that time is not something that we have. And I'm going to ask a very hard question. And if you don't want to answer, I get it. How many of us, and put me in the chat if you want to, you do not have to. Put a me in the chat if you lost out on somebody that you could have been with, but now they're no longer here. And you don't have to answer if it's going to trigger you into something negative, please. But I want to show that some of us could have made different decisions at the time, and now we can't do anything. And I think that's important too. And that's the type of stuff I want you to weigh. Thank you so much, Cable. Thank you so much, Yusuf. It's important that we consider everything. And this is what I mean about keeping love at such a higher level. You shouldn't be worried about your career over something that you like. I'm talking about love. And love is something special because that's, to me, about the thing that's going to make you balance out. But you guys that said me, thank you. Because I understand that it's tough. And it's tough when you have somebody that you care about, but you have dreams of what you want to do. And people have forego love for their dreams. And I pray that everybody that goes that route receives or gets their dreams. Good morning, Terry. Well, good afternoon, actually, from where I'm at, but good morning if it's where you are. I'm over the aspect of work anyway. I got you, Shania. And each of us are at different levels, but it's super important that we have these conversations and have these conversations in a safe way. We don't know if we're going to be right or wrong until time shows us. But because time is the thing that we can't control, we have to really try to make the best. Now, if I figure this much, we have to make the best decisions possible based on what works for us. Are we always going to be right? No. But that is actually why our memories help fuel our decisions. My job as a counselor is to try to help everybody with, when you make those decisions, what that looks like. And the reason why is because some people, when they make decisions and it didn't turn out the right way, and thank you for the hearts, and it didn't turn out right, they shut down. No, we're all going to make moves. They're not always going to be the best moves. And if it blows up, we have to learn something from it, dust ourselves off, get back in the game. I tell my daughter that all the time. I say, there's things that I've written that flopped. And then there's some things that I've written that I didn't even think was going to be that important. It turned out to win awards. There's times that I was doing the best I could in a counseling session for somebody, and I just couldn't reach home, and something negative happened. There's not too much I can do but do the best I can. And we have to learn from our mistakes, Stan. Great point. And that's what's super important. So again, I didn't want anybody to feel bad if they chose to prioritize their career or personal goals over love. We all have to make what the decision that we feel is best for us. All right. And again, thank you so much. Now I see the heartbeat going. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's keep that heartbeat going. You guys ready for number 8? We're coming up to the end of the list. We got 8, 9, and 10 left on the list. And I'll go back over the list for everybody that might have got here late. We are talking 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor, author, educator. I'm on every Friday from 11:30 to about 1 o'clock or more, depending on the conversation. And I'm here to try to help. And this is what real help looks like. So you guys ready for number 8? I just saw a couple of 8s go up. Let's get 8 8s. Can I get 6 more 8s for me? Come on. Lettucey. Oh, if y'all don't know about Lettucey, don't sleep on Lettucey. Oh my God, I love her music. I'm just a music junkie. I love everybody's music. There go the 8s. Come on. Here's another big one. You guys ready? Okay. Number 8 on the list. Oh, there we go, K-Bo. I love it. Number 8 on the list of 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Lack of trust in others. Let me say it again. Somebody put it in the chat for me. Lack of trust in others. Number 8. Previous experience of betrayal or disappointment can lead to a lack of trust in others, making it challenging to embrace love and develop deep emotional connections fully. When I say this one, I deal with on a regular basis of people not trusting, and I get it. I get it. It is hard. Good afternoon, Cheryl. It is hard. And you guys that are new that's popping in, let me know where you're popping in from, please. Thank you. I appreciate you. Lack of trust. And that's a hard one, especially for me as a counselor. Thank you so much for the heartbeats. I appreciate it. Let's keep those heartbeats going. Because it is hard to help a person get to the level of trust, because I can only mirror so much in a counseling session. Shout out to North Carolina. We got North Carolina deep in here today. I can only help a person so much because at some point you have to be comfortable with going back out there and taking the risk. But it is hard to get trust back. That's why I tell people, try not to mess up if you can, because once you mess up and lose somebody's trust, it is hard to get back. And when I tell you what my girlfriend, now wife, what we had to go through years ago to get back to a level of trust, oh my gosh. I'm a Luciferian. I respect your beliefs. I just don't know Lucifer loves you in the world. Thank you so much. If that's how you believe, you are welcome to that. Appreciate you. And you're still loved. What you believe is what you believe. You're entitled. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And so the idea is, it is super important that we don't even go down that road of losing trust, because some of us will never trust certain people again when they've done us dirty. And so you don't want to be in that situation where you lose out on love because you misuse someone's trust. Also, if you're a person that's in that situation, you have to make a decision. If you are just not a person that's able to trust again, then just be honest with that person. It's extremely hard to get back trust in something you can't. Yeah, some people can't. And I deal with that. But here's the key. we still have to be able to find trust in people that are going to come after. We have to, because we do want to be able to be in a future relationship. And so we want to be able to put our feet back on the ground and find a way to be able to trust again. Now that's hard, but you got to do the work. And this is where counseling comes in. This is where, when I see people normally twice a month, some people once a week if they really need it, if they're in a bad situation. And if we got to work on reestablishing trust, then we really have to work on the inner talk and the self-talk as well as your support system. Because depending on what your support system is, you're going to need people that you can lean on to help you deal with getting your trust back. We got to find that you have people around you who you can trust so you can actually see what that looks like and then build on that. But it is not easy. Not easy at all, guys. And I have found that, I understand if some people just say, I'm not doing it. I get it. And I can't. It's not even something that you can force. You got to let a person find their way to get in there. So that's a tough one. Lack of trust. And you can circle that one because that's a hard one. But it is doable. Don't enter something new into you. Yes, thank you. Talk to them, Cheryl. And that's part of what counseling is to help people find their personal peace. That's what I'm doing here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Schneider. I missed last Friday because I had to go away. I was speaking in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and I missed last Friday's show, so I am happy to be back. I feel if you can hold on to the past, I feel if you hold on to the past, that person still has some type of control. They don't have any control over you. You're giving away your control to the idea of that person. We're not going to give a person that's no longer in your life that type of strength, Stan. What you're trapped in a jail you created for yourself. The person has no control over you. You've just given your way to control of you've given your control away, but not to them. Because we don't want to give people who's not in our lives that type of power when they really don't have it. It's us just not taking control simply because we're just not ready yet or not comfortable. Love listening. Back to work. Okay, thank you so much. Hope to see you next Friday. Come join us next Friday. I appreciate you being here, Kay. And you guys keep tapping that screen. I appreciate you. And that's a good point, Stan. But I just think what happens is we give credit to people who no longer in our lives. We don't have to. It's us. We just have to work our way through it. And as a counselor, that's one of the things that I help a person do is to disconnect from that person. Actually, in my book, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Crisis Situation, one of the things that I'm doing, the last chapter talks about not focusing in on your ex. Literally leaving your ex alone and not bothering with your ex, because a lot of people will there we go. A lot of people will focus on their ex or go check in what their ex is doing on social media. I got a whole chapter. That's the last step to do. Leave that alone. You don't have to worry about what your ex is doing for you to take care of you. What time do you start your live on Friday? 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, Friday mornings. And we go to about 1 o'clock or 1:30, depending on the conversation, Cheryl. God willing, of course, if I'm here every Friday. All right, so you guys ready for number 9 and 10? We're going to get through these last two, and then I will gladly answer any of your questions and hang out for a little while. Got to call my wife and check in on her, make sure. I think she forgot I was on, so I just saw her text me, go, I forgot you was on. I go, I know. All right, so you guys ready for number 9? Let me get 9-9. Stan just started us off. Let's get 9-9s. Come on. Love. Come on. There we go. Come on, let's get some more 9s. Let's go. And again, if you want to watch previous shows, if you're new here, all of my previous shows are over on my YouTube page. And actually, all of the subjects from my new book are on YouTube as well. We covered all 12 steps here over a 12-week period here on live. So you can actually get an insight to some of the book if you want to go over on YouTube as well. All right, here we go. Thank you for the 9s, guys. I appreciate your interaction with me. All right, here we go. And this goes to the lack of trust. Number 9. Fear of being hurt or getting hurt again. Woo! Fear, number 9, on the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. Number 9, fear of being hurt or getting hurt again. The fear of experiencing emotional pain or heartbreak can cause individuals to refuse to embrace love as a form of self-protection. Some of us will push love away because we believe we are protecting ourselves because we do not want to be hurt again, as we have already discussed. So fear of being hurt and getting hurt again. If this is you or has been you or was you at one point, put me in the chat. Put me in the chat. If you were fearful of being hurt or getting hurt again, that kept you from moving forward. You don't have to give me the details because I don't want anybody to put themselves in a bad spot, and I don't want anybody judging anybody. I just want you to see that we are all connected, that we've all been through something like this. Thank you. See? We've all been there. Wow. Wow. Keep it going. I see you, Tam. I see you, Naomi. I see you, Kiana. Or Kina. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, and I hate getting people's names wrong. I see you, Stan. I got you. I see you, Terry. And keep that heartbeat going, because fear of being hurt is a big thing. I have that in counseling sessions. I've sat in group sessions with people, and they're like, but you just don't want to. Nobody wants to be hurt. Let me just say that. Nobody wants to feel the pain. And then you don't want to take a risk and then have it happen again. And this is why we have such the number of people unaliving themselves in the world, because once COVID hit, a lot of people didn't know how to deal. Also, the rate of abuse went up. DV went up. Child abuse went up. SA went up because people did not know how to deal with being confined to the homes or not being able to do what they enjoy doing. And we're still coming out of that stretch. And I know for me, trying to help so many people, it was very difficult because there were a couple of times I was saying to myself, how am I going to be able to do this? But I just tried to stay in the mix, and I still try to stay in this mix. But, okay, Tam, it's very difficult, and all of us hurt differently, even though we may be in similar situations. Let me just say that again. All of us hurt differently, even though what caused our pain may be similar. We all react differently because we're all different entities. And I want you to understand that no one way fits all. So please stop listening to all your girlfriends or your brothers and your people who telling you how to feel. They're not you. What they can do is offer suggestions on what you can do to help you heal. So, hello, Mystic. Very important. This is why we have to be careful in where we search for help. That's why sometimes when I'm passing by on different pages, I so want to jump in and say something, but then I see that the room is not going to absorb the energy that I bring, so I just stay quiet because I'm not going to try to force my way in to get people to listen when there's all this yelling and screaming and negativity. So I just go to my spot on my page and put out what I can do to be able to try to help, because that's another thing too, guys. If you're trying to help somebody who's refusing to listen, stop. You do not pour water into a bucket with a hole in it. I always read the room, anywhere where I'm at. You do not pour water into a bucket with a hole in it. You are foolish if you do that. And going into a space where everybody is yelling and screaming and think that you are going to be the voice that calms everything down, only if you see that the person leading the room allows that. And a lot of times when I do come into a room, I sit quietly until the person leading the room goes, hey, let's hear from Keith the specialist. Okay, crisis specialist. And then I have my opportunity to do. I say what I got to say, and then when need be, I get out. Because you stay around negativity long enough, you're going to start to find yourself acting negative. I'm not doing that. And I'm not allowing myself to be sucked into foolishness. We're not doing that either. Okay, so number 9 was fear of being hurt and getting hurt again. All right. Y'all ready for the last one? Y'all ready for number 10? Right around 10 o'clock. 1 o'clock. We're right on point. Now that's a word. Thank you. All right, y'all ready for 10? Thank you, T, for leading us all. I need 10 10s. Let's go. 10 10s, and we're going to keep tapping that screen. And thank you. We got the 20,000 hearts. I appreciate you. Let's keep it going. And y'all, let me get 10 10s. There we go. Come on. Fill my life with you. Come on. Here we go. Let's keep it going. All right. So if you got your pens, let's finish your notes off so you have your homework, or you got your notes. I ain't giving no homework today. The 10th reason why people refuse to embrace love. Number 10, and y'all have heard this one, and I'm going to ask you anyway, the fear of commitment. Let me say that again. The fear of commitment. If you have been fearful of making a commitment for whatever reason, put a me in the chat. Or if you're with somebody who's fearful, hey Jerome, is fearful of making a commitment, put a me in the chat. If you have been a person fearful of making a commitment, that is why you have stepped back from embracing love. Put that in the chat. Put me in the chat. Or if you're dealing with somebody who seems to be fearful of making a commitment, and that's why they can't embrace love, put me in the chat. And again, the reason why I asked this question is to show how much we are connected. We're all from different places around the globe, but we suffer through some of the same things for some of the same reasons. And that's important for me to be able to show you, because part of the way that we can reach each other to help each other is by not only having these conversations, but then figuring out how do we fix it. I offer counseling as my way to fix it. I do these shows every Friday as a way to try to fix it by bringing light to it. I write books as a way to try to fix it. And I speak where I'm invited to come and speak, to try to offer some type of understanding, healing, or information to help people get out their own way. So that is the list of 10. I'm going to go back over to 10. If there's anybody new here that didn't let me know where they're from, please do. So if you have not let me know where you're from, put that in the chat. Say, hey, I am from wherever you are in the world. I appreciate that. And I'm going to go back over. Yes, all my books on Amazon. But I would suggest to you to get my books from my website for this reason. Jeff Bezos takes 55% from every independent author that is on Amazon. So anytime you purchase the books from the author directly, because the bulk of the money goes to the author. When you buy it from Amazon, the reason why you're getting it a little bit cheaper is Jeff Bezos takes the money up front. The author gets less. Go to the author's website. All my information is in my bio, but it is super important because most people don't know that. And that's how Amazon undercuts so many people. And that's why so many businesses have went out of business, because Jeff Bezos can offer things on Amazon at a cheaper rate and people buy it. Now, if you're purchasing from a business and you have to have a preferred buyer, which is either Amazon or Barnes & Noble, I get it. Then you do what you have to do. It's called the necessary evil for all of us in the literary industry. We have to put our books on Amazon because businesses or schools and other organizations can't buy our books unless they're on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anywhere books are sold. But what happens is we let folks know to come to our website, and most young authors don't let folks know that. Yes. And what happens is they take 55% right off the top, and then when you deduct what an author has to spend on the printing, an author might get pennies. You might get $1 or $2 compared to 8 or 9 if you get it directly from the website. Yes, I own a publishing company too. All my links is in my bio. You'll see I own a small publishing company as well as I'm a speaker. So I have 2 different websites. I have my publishing website and I have my counseling website. And I help authors be able to self-publish their works. I've had deals with other companies as well as I have my own, as well as I put out my own books. So let me go back over the list for everybody that might have got here. Yeah, but that's how Jeff Bezos is a trillionaire because of that, and that's why and the Walmarts, who are all worth $10 billion. Great, I have an idea for a book. Hey, listen, write them. We need more independent authors to put books out there. The Walmarts did the same thing. The Walmarts moved into areas and destroyed mom and pop's businesses because now you can go to Walmart and get everything. So there's no reason to go to the hardware store, the local grocery. So Walmart destroyed small mom and pop's businesses. Amazon finished off the rest, and it made it very difficult. So the independent business person has taken it on the chin, and there's very few mom and pop businesses anymore because the conglomerates have basically just robbed them. And a lot of people don't know, and a lot of authors don't want to talk about it because I don't know if they're fearful of the retribution, whatever. I don't worry about it. I control all of my books and what happens with my books, but I'm older. And I've worked with over 50 different authors since 2007 when I wrote my first book. So that's part of it. Good afternoon, Sugar. The only reason why I buy live anymore is because businesses have stopped giving customer service. Yeah, that's a big one too, Kev. That's super important because I tell authors, you need to have a solid website, you need to do solid customer service, and you need to take care of any of the problems that come up, whether it's in the delivery of the book. I don't care if the U.S. Post Office didn't get that book there, you go ahead and replace it. And I explained to them that if you're going to be in competition with Amazon, you have to make sure your customer service is on point. And that information has to be on your website so people know. Unfortunately, we hear, especially with businesses of color, that the customer service is crappy. And that's something that we can control. We can't control what the big businesses do, but I make sure I deal with any issue. Same thing like with my after school program. If a parent has an issue, I deal with it right then and there. If you have an issue with my staff, I will take care of it. Let's have that conversation, because I don't want anybody walking away saying, oh, I did business with Keith and it was horrible. We're not doing that. No, that's why I tell people, if you do a Google search for me, you will not find any negativity connected to my name, because I take care of my business. But let me go back over the list for anybody that just got here. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy to be back. I wasn't here last Friday. Today we talked about 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. And number 1 was fear of vulnerability. Number 2 was past heartbreaks or betrayal. Number 3, fear of losing independence. Number 4, negative self-image and low self-esteem. Number 5, fear of rejection. Number 6, emotional baggage from past relationships. Number 7, prioritizing career and personal goals over love. Number 8, lack of trust in others. Number 9, fear of being hurt or getting hurt again. Number 10, fear of commitment. That was the list of 10. And again, I want to say thank you. And we got the 25,000 likes. Let's go, guys. Thank you so much for keeping that heartbeat going. That is what signals to other people on this app that we're over here having this conversation. They can come and join us. But yeah, this is what happens. And so, yeah, I have published 6, 7 of my own books. I've been in 7 or 8 anthologies where I've been a contributing author. I've been in different magazines. And yeah, there's a lot that people don't have conversations about, because Amazon makes it easy for you to publish or put books on their website just for that reason, but you're not making any profit. And that's why self-published authors struggle so much. That and poor work too. Sometimes they just have poor books. They need to change that. So I made it to 1 o'clock. I'm here for any questions that you have. So if you have any questions, please, by all means, ask your questions. I'm here for you. If you have any questions or anything from the list that's interesting, come on, hit me up. Let me know. I'll hang out for a couple more minutes. I'm always here to try to engage with everybody. If you have any questions, now's a good time to ask me. And again, thank you so much for hanging out. And again, don't be scared of love, guys. Actually, you know what? Let me see. All right, let me see if I got a poem that I can share. Can't talk about love and not share about no poem. Well, that's if y'all want to hear. What y'all talking about? Y'all want to hear something? Y'all want to hear a poem today? Since we talking about love, this is a great live. Definitely be back. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. How do you let go of love blocks? Love blocks. That's interesting. You gotta, before I answer that, who asked that question? Mystic, what do you mean love blocks? I want to make sure I'm answering that question properly. And I'll read, hey Donna, good morning. Give me that question again, Mystic, and I want to make sure I'm answering. When you say love blocks, what do you mean? Because I want to make sure I answer that question the right way. And I'll give y'all something. I am great today. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so let me see. We're in a romance type situation. I'm going to read you. All right, well, we got adults here, so I'm going to read 2. One short one and one. Is it short? Yeah, it's not too long. All right. When y'all guys, love blocks are the things that keep me from love. Like, well, okay. Well, first you have to identify which of the blocks is preventing you from love, Mystic. Like I gave you a list of 10, but if there's something that wasn't on the list, then one of the first things you want to do is consider what is it that is blocking me is fear of failure. Okay. Well, that's something that what we would talk about, Mystic, is 1, when and how did you fail before? We'd look at what caused that, and then we look at the things that are now different since that time, and we would work on things that would help you build up a strengthened self, because you are not the same person that you were yesterday. I know it may not feel that way, but anything that you were in before, even though it happened, yes, it might have hurt, but now the question is, how do you go forward? And one of the things that that we deal with the fear of failure that I deal with is one, let's really go into why you're fearful. What would happen if you were successful? You would enjoy it. So let's work on that. Let's put some things into place that's going to help you see success so you can start to feel comfortable that you'll be okay with opening up and allowing somebody to share love with you. But first, let's look at your love of self. Let's look at your self-esteem. Let's look at your self-worth. Let's look at the things that are causing you to feel that you would fail. And once we can remove some of those, now we can open up the door for you to be able to gain. So that would be something that I would do there. How do you move past the fear from past experiences and re-enter the dating world? I'll be 60 in a month. First and foremost, we would just look at who you are now. Look at what has been going on since the last time you dated, or if you were in a marriage, or if you lost a partner, whatever it is. And we would then get you geared up for what is it that you want from dating. 60 is a wonderful age. I'm going on 56. 60 is a wonderful age. Our 60-year-old brothers and sisters still got it. But the question is, what do you want? And are you portraying what you want? Are you clear on what you want? And are you putting yourself in proximity to meet the people that you really want to meet? So I would say, one, don't be scared to re-enter the dating phase, but just be very strong on who you are and what you want and what you're prepared to deal with. And then we go out there, because like anything else, you still got to jump in the pool. Still got to get wet. Still got to jump in and try to swim. We can't swim from the sideline. You got to get in the pool. Can we talk about family love next time, the lack thereof, or family disconnection? In what reference, family love or disconnection in what way? Family love and disconnection. In what way? Because one, it would have to be, why did family disconnect you, or why is there no family love? There's a lot of diameters there. Be 10 toes down on your boundaries. There we go. Come on. And that's important. I talk about that in my book, The 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. There is a whole thing that I talk about with boundaries. It's super important. That comes up a lot. But that's a great point. Thank you so much for adding that. And that should be for everything, first of all. Not just dating, just in who you are as a person. Like for me, my boundaries is I don't deal with ignorance. Another boundary for me is I don't do drama. I don't engage with drama. I don't engage with ignorance. I just shut down. Go on about your business. There's nothing that we have to converse about. Also, my boundary is I'm not going to have a shouting match with you about. No, we're good, because unless you're going to come touch me, I know I'm not in any danger. So why am I going to engage you? Well, sleep at night. What are we going to do? But any other questions? I'm here for a couple minutes. I'm good. I don't have a counseling session until, let me check my calendar. I was here running my mouth the other day and almost, no, there we go. Let me see what I got today. All right, I got 2 counseling sessions this afternoon. Cool. So again, just because we're done with the list don't mean that you can stop tapping that screen. Let's go. Keep tapping that screen. I'm just going to put it out there. I just set up a profile on online dating. I received and I guess the rest of that is so many. I am from Delaware, originally from New York. I'm in Delaware now, but I'm originally from New York. I've been in Delaware going on 7 years, but I'm originally from New York. And online dating profiles is okay, but please understand that anything that you put out there in public, you're going to get a little bit of everything. Just be clear on what you want. Be clear on what you'll deal with. Also, remember, it is not real until y'all actually meet. So never get so drugged out on a virtual personality until you actually meet somebody. How do I get past that? Okay, pick the ones that are interesting to you. Leave the rest there. You don't have to respond to all of them. Go through a few. Go through 4 or 5. Once you get 4 or 5, leave the rest. They're not going nowhere. And focus on those 5. And see what comes from it. If not, toss them to the side. Go back into the pool. But just be clear on enjoy the technology. Have fun talking. Get to know someone. Yes, that's my New York accent. I refuse to become country. Like all the Delawareans ask me, like, why you still sound like you just got here from New York yesterday? Because I'm good. I'm not losing my New York accent. South Jamaica, Queens, 40 Projects. That's where I was born at. Lived in Queens and lived in Brooklyn. If he or she sees that they can change your mind, they will test this. Yeah, of course. People do that. People will always test the limits if they have nasty negative ideas, but also people may not even realize that they're trying to test the limits because they're trying to establish themselves. That's why it's very important that communication is clear. If I can communicate to you what I'm cool with and what I'm not cool with, then we can start to build on it. But if I'm not clear, please understand this, and I teach this to the kids in my after school program. If you don't take control of yourself, somebody will. And it doesn't mean that they'll do it to the positive. And that's the same for adults. We're just older kids. Communication with comprehension. Yes, but it has to come from a place of understanding, when we put it out there. We can't have conversations that we can't comprehend ourselves. Okay, flush it for me. Yeah, here we go. Many of us are out here having conversations that we don't even understand the outcomes of what we're talking about ourselves. So we have to be careful of what we're putting out there. And we're going to get back what we put out. I believe that. So we have to be very guarded in who we're communicating with and why we're communicating with them. Flushing. Yeah. I used to have a friend. She lived right off of Queens Boulevard, actually. Right behind the Queens Center Mall. And we have to know ourselves. Great point, Ken. We have to know ourselves. But a lot of people, it's hard for them to understand who they are if they can't deal with past situations. That's why I come in as a counselor. We have to learn how to let go negative situations. I would have never guessed New York. I think you lost it I would have never guessed New York. I think you lost it in Delaware. No, I didn't lose it. I'm just not hood. But I code switch with the best of them. When a camera's on, I know how I'm supposed to carry myself. See me with this camera off, you might hear a little bit more of the New York in me. But sometimes we have to understand that there's just certain aspects of my New York City upbringing that don't need to be on camera. It's called code switching. Trust me, when I travel back home, they hear me. And that's another thing too. You gotta understand your surroundings and be able to flourish in whatever your surroundings is. Adapting. Oh yeah, we all have to adapt. That's part of growth. But we have to be careful that we don't become assimilated to the thing that we're adapting to. We have to make sure that we stand our own, which goes back to what you just said about knowing yourself. I can be in Delaware, but I am going to be who I am in Delaware. But I am going to adapt to the situations around me. I just may not become assimilated to the situations. Hey, what's going on, Brother Rich? Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you as well. Glad to have you here. We just talked about the 10 reasons why people refuse to embrace love. And this will be over on my YouTube page. The replays are always on my YouTube page. So if anybody got here late or anybody wants to go back or they want to refer somebody to what was talked about today, it will be over on YouTube. I might get to it later on tonight, if not tomorrow. I'll be here cleaning up my house tomorrow, so I should have time tonight or tomorrow. You're gone. Conformity to the room, not losing self, without question. And it's not just the room. The room is a minor thing. It is in general. You want to be able to come in and adapt to your environment in any place, work, sporting events, wherever you are. The key is be careful that you do not become assimilated to such a degree that you lose you. That's the key. You have to adapt to certain situations because you don't want to become a pariah in certain places. But at the same time, you don't want to lose yourself, which is what happens to a lot of people. Now, I understand. I'm just making sure because not everybody may read it that way. I got you. I'm with you. We vibing on the same energy. And I see that especially with students. I saw that when new kids would come in, especially in the middle of the year, it was always difficult. So I would always pair them. Hey, how we doing? I would always pair them with one of my more outgoing students to make it easier for them to kind of get embraced into the culture of the room. Just like if I had a kid who came in a room that was negative in the middle of the year and thought that they was going to punk my room, I would say, you guys let him or her know how we do this here. And they quickly would be like, nah, Mr. B ain't that dude. You need to go ahead and sit down. And that is where your assimilation, your adaptation to the environment allows it to help you extend yourself in the ways to help or to control the situation. And as a dean, that was one of the things that I would try to explain to teachers why they were having such problems with discipline in their rooms, is because they didn't make the environment such that the kids felt comfortable. I never want to be misunderstood as a Virgo clarification. Well, I don't believe in astrology, but if you say so. But I do understand the wanting to be misunderstood. I don't think anybody wants to be misunderstood, so I don't think it's just a Virgo thing. I think all of us want to be understood. I think the problem is how we go about it, and where we lose ourselves is that often we will do things that cause us not to be misunderstood, or that is taken the wrong way. Because you also have to consider the audience of who is receiving what you're trying to put out. So, like I said, I don't believe in astrology, but I respect it, those that do. Because I think everybody wants to be understood. And the more that we understand each other, the better the situation is. Because it allows us to then have better conversations with each other. And when we can have better conversations, then we can have better opportunities to learn. And once we can have better opportunities to learn, now we're in a good spot. May I ask why you don't believe in astrology? Well, I don't believe in astrology because if you look at what each sign says is special about that particular person, actually most people have all 12 of those delineations. So I don't believe that any one person is any one particular thing. And so when you look at it like now, I always want to be understood. But I'm a Sagittarius, I guess, as they say. So does that mean I don't? No, I do. So, and I remember years ago when I was in grad school, I remember the professor handed everybody a sheet of paper and he said, I want you to check off all of the things that you see yourself as. And, you know, it's like 12 things. Everybody checked off all 12. And I remember he was like, okay, so each one of those is one of the astrological signs, but we all go through similar things that all the astrologies say. So again, it's just something that if you look at it, we all have parts of all 12. So, hey, what's going on there? What's up, Steph? How are you? And happy anniversary. I know I'm a little late. Congratulations. I didn't know it's been that long. Way to go. I'm glad you're happy, darling. You deserve it. You have a great day as well. I got a couple more minutes before I jump off. I'm going to hang out because I got to get ready for my counseling sessions this afternoon, as well as call a wife. And like I said, my thing is, I think, and that's another thing too, is people have to be comfortable with not rocking with all the things that somebody else might not rock with, but then respecting it too. Some people, like, they want to discredit or treat somebody badly because of what they believe, and I don't believe in that either. More, and more. So again, if you have any other questions, I'll gladly answer them. I got a couple more minutes before I jump off. And again, if you're just getting here, I am Keith K.L. Belvin, crisis specialist, human service counselor. Every Friday from 11:30 to 1 o'clock, we cover things that help with personal growth or personal development, as well as relationships and anything like that. And I am also an author and speaker. So, and again, my goal is to inform, entertain, and educate the best that I can when I'm on. So I appreciate you when you're here. Value is action more than words. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think they coincide. Communication and action are needed. So I'm a believer in that. I agree with you. Value is both. It's an action word and a noun. It's a verb and a noun. Do you believe in karma? That's a good one. I believe that the negative that you put out in the world, I do believe if you don't fix it, finds its way back. So to a degree, yes. But I believe that we have an opportunity to fix things that we do wrong. But I do believe there is a price to pay for the negative that you put out there. So yes, to some degree, there is karma. As is defined, probably not. But I just think that when you put negativity out in the world, it finds its way back. But I also think there's an avenue for us to fix the things that are wrong. But there is a price to pay for the negativity that we put out in the world. I believe that. And I think that's another thing, too, is that we all have to realize that it is important that we are able to share what we believe, have those conversations, and feel comfortable in those conversations. That's another thing, too, that drives me crazy with a lot of the yelling and screaming that I see is that I'm like, well, what are you getting from the conversations? Like, how are you healing, or where's the opportunity to heal with the yelling and screaming that goes back and forth? I don't get that part. So I'm like, okay. Hey, I know what I want to hear. I was listening to it yesterday. Where's my girl Shantae Moore? Exhausted? What's exhausted? You're exhausted? Love. And again, if you have any other questions, please feel free. I'm here. Oh, yeah, definitely, without question. See, what happens is negative energy gets attention, and that's why people put so much time in it. Also, we cannot overlook the fact that here on this particular app, one of the reasons why you're going to have so much interaction is because there's pennies being tossed for being on the app. They're paying a small amount, but they're paying for people to sit here and have a conversation. And so when you're doing that, then you have the solicitation of gifts and you have the battles and all of that. But the goal is to keep you on the app. So they give you pennies for your work. And so people stay on for hours because they're getting paid. And so negativity drives attention. So again, think about it. If I can keep a negative environment going and I'm getting money tossed at me, well, there it is. Thank you so much, Kenny. I appreciate you. And thank you for the points that you brought to the table. You have a great weekend as well. Hope to see you next Friday. And I appreciate your input. Thank you so much for being here. Respect. So we got a couple more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to get ready to go. If you have any other questions, I am here. As I said, I am a crisis specialist, human service counselor. I'm just a professional counselor. I'm just somebody who helps you figure out what's wrong and to help you figure out a way to be able to fix the things that are going on and try to identify the things that are causing you not to be happy. I got a new book coming out in about a month, which is 12 Steps to Recovering from Toxic Relationships. And that was created because a young lady here on TikTok said that she wished that there was a guide to help people when they get out of a bad relationship. And I said, I hear that. I'm going to create it. So that was about 4.5 months ago, and the book will be ready soon. So again, that is what help looks like. When somebody says they need something, you don't just say it's going to be okay, you create it. But does karma have to be negative? Because I was taught you reap what you sow. Well, that's why, no, karma doesn't have to be negative, but I don't believe in karma as is listed. I believe that you do gain from what you put out there, like I just said. And I think if you do the positive work, you open up the door for positivity to come back. But bad things happen to good people as well. So is that karma? So my thing is, you do the best that you can and trust that what you put out there will find its way back to you somehow, some way, or you at least make it better for somebody else. And like I said, it's not something that I debate with folks because, everybody believes what they believe. But I just think if you do negative, there is a price to pay for that. But I believe there's an opportunity to fix what you did, what's wrong, when you acknowledge it to yourself as well as to the person that you harmed and look to fix it. Just like if you do good, well, you create a pathway for yourself to gain by doing the things that you're supposed to do. And so good things should happen to the people who do what's right. But we know that that's not the case all the time. And that balance is that balance of like that is why I don't believe in karma per se. But like I said, there's some things that I do, aspects of it that I do believe. And I hope that makes sense. Oh, forgot my music here. What am I doing?
Girl, what happened to you? Oh, look at you. I told you about this man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the gifts. Wow. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Girl,
I am just digging this song. I like the words of this. Shantae Moore.
Well, because he just called me and I gotta take care of my
Shantae Moore.
I gotta go home. Listen.
Another. She has some great songs, especially on some of her previous albums.
I gotta go home. Making some dinner.
There you go. Listen, nothing wrong with that. If you got a good person in your life, take advantage of that, because there's a lot of people who don't. And do the work necessary to make sure that you're doing your part to keep it solid. But I like this song. Shantae's been through a lot, and she tells a lot in her music. I haven't had a chance to watch any of her lives, but I love when she explains, having been married so many times and what she's looking for. And it also lets you know that sometimes just because you think a person has it all together doesn't mean that they're going to actually figure it out. And I love when people who have gone through some things share it, especially in the music industry. Playing games. All the same. The truth, man. Come on now. I just love good music. And I'm not big on anybody telling me what's good music. I go find it. So I like a little bit of everything. And I find that too often we tend to play the same song because that's what's produced to us. Nah, I listen to old school, new school. I listen to white, black, African, European. I listen to everything if it's got an R&B feel to it. And some pop music. And definitely like old school R&B as well as some of the new stuff. I just like music. It just speaks to a part of my spirit, just like gospel music does as well. Why you let them beat you down? Look at you. So when this song is over, guys, I'm going to get ready to go. But again, we can tap that screen till we leave while the music is playing. And if you have any questions between now and the next 2 minutes, I'll answer it. But I'm going to get ready to go after this song here. It has been a pleasure to be on with you, and I appreciate you. Yeah, I got grass and mow. Love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, my guy should be out there cutting my lawn. I think I heard him going around. I didn't get a chance to look out the window. I just told him I'd be he knows I'm not on to see him between 11:30 and 1:30. So I'm going to go see if he was cutting the grass. So, yeah, I got somebody who comes and cuts the grass. I ain't cutting. I cut too much grass when I was younger. You have a blessed day as well. My mother and grandmother had me out there mowing lawns. Nah, I have a phobia with mowing lawns. I am done. I let somebody else do it. Your baby daddy cheating on you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I used to catch flack from other teachers about why I played music in the classroom, because then kids would complain or ask for music in their classroom. And I actually had a principal come and tell me I couldn't play music in my classroom because other teachers were getting requests for music. I was like, I don't care what other teachers are doing in their classroom. It helps the kids do what they got to do in my room, and the proof is in the work. And then I got written up at one school that I was at. Need his mama. Yeah, I actually got written up for playing music in the classroom. Okay, on YouTube, listen to It's Alright. Okay. It's Alright. Now, there's one song where she's actually singing to Kadeem Harrison. We went over the lyrics here, and she says, can we, for just tonight, act like we love each other? And she literally put her whole life out in some of her music. And when that whole situation happened, it was actually, it was deep. Because in the song, it was just like, can we just act like none of this has ever happened? And just literally go through it. And I was like, you got to understand how powerful a lyric that is. Can we just act like we love each other? Can we fake it for tonight? And there's something about music, because I know that artists, like we went over Phyllis Hyman And if you guys ever get a chance to listen to Phyllis Hyman's last album, she actually put all of her songs out there and basically wrote a note that she was going to leave this planet. But the album didn't come out until 3 months after she was no longer with us. But if you go back and look at Phyllis Hyman's last album, if you look at the titles of her songs and look at the lyrics, she literally was saying to guys, I don't want to be here no more. There's something to that. No, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just hope to see you guys next Friday. It is 1:30. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. I was so in love with her. And when I heard back in 86, I think it was 86, when I was like, if I had known. Oh, Mom. Listen, I was hurt because I was a Phyllis Hyman fan. I was, like, the note that she was lonely, I was like, hey, we could have dated. Thank you. Hey, Carpe, what's going on? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, that was a statuesque, beautiful woman. And to see that she was so unhappy with herself to the point that she wanted to check out. And again, I tell any one of you, check out her last album. And we went over it in one of the lives here. It's actually on my YouTube page where we actually looked at what she was talking about. And it was very difficult because when you go back and see, very underrated. But you know what the problem is? The industry changed and they just kind of tossed her to the side. Clive Davis did that a lot. CeCe Peniston went through the same thing, and a couple others went through the same thing where they literally were just tossed to the side, where they were like, R&B, this type of R&B is not going to happen. So the Faith Evans and the Whitney Houstons and others, they went with a different look. I actually had the chance to why am I drawing a blank? The young lady that sang Congratulations. We ran into each other in Lower Manhattan. Oh, my gosh. I can't think of her name. I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank. I know I'm getting old. But anyway, and that was one of the things that she took. Vesta Williams, yes. And I was joking with Vesta, and I said, I don't like the fact that you got skinny. I liked you when you was thicker. She said, really? You got to be one of the few people. And then she said to me, I had to get smaller because they told me I couldn't make money being full-figured. And then she went to a more hip-hop type field because she said they told her that they weren't going to allow her to make the music that she was making. And the idea that this beautiful woman, gorgeous full-figured woman, by the way, beautiful woman and beautiful entertainer was basically pushed into a different direction. And I'm lucky enough that I had the chance to meet and talk with her. I think we were on Canal Street. Actually, and when I saw her, she said, I said, I know who you are. She said, no, you don't. I said, yes, I do. And we got to talking. But it was just sad because I pay attention to that because it fascinates me how somebody all of a sudden, the industry says you're no longer a talent, but your music stands the test of time. So how are you no longer a talent when a lot of these people can still sing? It's just I can't promote you. Donnell, is it Donnell Jones, whatever? Same thing. When he wrote these fantastic songs, and all of a sudden, let me see. I gotta get ready to go. Y'all got me talking about music, but yeah, it's just sad because it's a shame how they just take somebody out and say you're no longer a talent when not only could they sing, they produce good music, but good is subjective, and if they can't make any money off it, they're gonna say it's no good. There's some songs that I like that didn't sell a whole lot of records that are just outstanding. Yeah, it is cutthroat. And I've been around it for a while. I went to school with LL Cool J, and I've been around a lot of the hip-hoppers from Queens coming up. And I had been around a lot of things, saw a lot of things, and the idea is that when you see what people have to do to be able to keep making money, it is what it is. So I am just a fan of music. I'll always be a fan of music. It's what I do, and I'll keep playing music when I'm on here. Guys, it has been a blessing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, you know what? I did say I was going to read a poem. Hold on a second. Let me do that before I go. All right. Real quick. Since we're talking about love, let me give this here. All right. So this one is called A Real Man's Strength. Page 32 on my book, A Man in Transition. I wrote this in 2007, but some of these poems were collected between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A Real Man's Strength. Listen, a test of a man comes when his pride is touched. How he holds his tongue and allows the events to play out. His value are his anchor, and morals become his sails. So deal with hard times. Understand you are becoming better with each moment. Hard times befall all who live life. How you recover measures how hard things truly were. When tested, the strong soul will survive, but change. The change will heal and protect your swollen or bruised pride. Your prayers will be answered, but these situations are God designed for you. That is a real man's strength. And I don't want to take... Okay, so here, it's Friday. All right, so here we go. This one is called Give In. Now, you can kind of figure out what's being talked about when I read it, but we're all adults here. So, I hope. So again, this is going to be the last piece. So you can put up, and y'all hit the hearts when I'm reading this. Okay, here we go. This is called Give In. Your rhythmic movements has sent a strong message to my body. I'm trying to hold on and hold out. Trying not to end this moment too soon. Your movements is slow, deliberate, controlled, and passionate. I am in erotic bliss. Your whispers are like thunder as your voice surrounds my mind. Your skin is silky smooth and your touch is artistically simplistic. I bite my lip to gain a hold of what should be my moment. I have never been blessed with such a loving partner. I can sense that feeling drawing close. Your eyes lock in. As I try to turn the tables and take control, it is quickly taken back. You are like the petals of a flower, sexy looking and soft to the touch. My mind is ablaze, but you demand my attention. I am powerless. How can I continue at this pace? Was this your plan to break me? Didn't I ask for this when I said be mine? Didn't I want this when I said let's do this? My body can't resist you any longer. I have to let go. But what about you? The pace quickens. You know you have me, don't you? My heart speeds up, my teeth are clenched, and at the last thing I can remember is hearing your voice sweetly saying, Give In. By Keith K.L. Belvin. Yes, those are... I used to be an erotic poet, and that's not even erotic ones. There's some to the back of the book that are the last published erotic works of mine. But yes, that was Give In. And I always, when I write a piece, try to create the visual. And you don't have to be so vulgar with it. But when given in the right context, people get it. So if you didn't know what I was talking about, that is on you. But those of you that got it, understood what I was trying to say at that moment. So, yeah, I don't believe in giving into lower frequency in terms of vulgarity and things like that. I don't think certain things need to be said certain ways. Sometimes they do. But I think in writing my poetry, one of the things that I always did was write to higher energy, higher frequencies. If you don't get it, you don't get it. And I don't have to be vulgar to stimulate the way someone sees or hears what I say. And that was always how I read my poetry. Even the erotic stuff I read that way to be able to create or stimulate certain parts of the mind without having to be vulgar. Vulgarity has its place, but true erotic behavior vibrates at a higher frequency, which causes more of the body than just the erogenous zones to activate. And when you can get those all working at the same time, that's another conversation for another live that I can have, but we're not going to have that today. I want you guys to have a wonderful Friday. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time out. The book is on my website. If you go to the link in my bio and just click on my publishing website, the book is there. Instead of vulgarity, use your vocabulary. If you have it, brother. Some people don't. So, and I was taught a long time ago, vulgarity is for those who lack an understanding of what real words do. I can be vulgar with never ever saying a curse word. Yes, sometimes curse words are necessary. But if I can explain what I'm trying to say to you, my words are sharp, but I don't have to dial it down for you. You have to dial it up to understand me. So again, guys, have a good one. The book is on my website. Also, if you do a Google search for KL the Writer, you'll see some of my old pieces. Like Give In is actually, hold on one second. I know I got to go. Actually, I got a little time. Hold on a second. Give In by KL the Writer. Let me see if it's still out there. Let's see. Because that one is actually in music form, where we actually put that on. I'd have to find it, but yeah, years ago when I used to do. No, I'm not gonna be able to find it. But yeah, I used to, like I said, I've been on social media since 1994, and I've written poems and I've written books, and all that's cute. But at the end of the day, it's about how are you helping people, and that's what I try to do. That is what I try to do. And when you can help people, it comes back. Plus, I have to make up for all the years that I was the wolf. When you were the wolf, you have to marvel at being the shepherd. And when you become the shepherd, you have to own what you were as the wolf so people understand that I'm not bigger and better than anybody else. I'm just a man that figured out that I didn't want to be the wolf anymore. And so now as the shepherd, that's how I pay back. Yeah, appreciate you, bro. That's it. That's how I give back. I give back by making sure that now I protect those I used to try to do dirty. I protect or explain to make it make sense to those that now are being lied to by men like me who used to lie. And that is the best thing that you can do. That's why I don't worry about when men call me simps or dudes be like, yo, why you pandering to women? I pander to women because I remember what I did when I was out there doing some foolishness. All right, hold on one second. All right, you know what? I couldn't find the other one, but I'm going to leave you with this one. This one is what it sounds like, a piece from before. This is what Perfect Woman sounds like when it's actually applied to the music. And this is one that I would perform at different places. So I'm going to leave you with this one. I should have been off 10 minutes ago.
It's one of my favorites.
Here we
It's
go.
in my book, A Man in... piece that I dedicated to my wife, Tiffany. It's one of my favorites. It's in my book, A Man in Transition. And I just wanted to show the world what my wife means to me. It's called Perfect Woman, If Only in My Mind. I ask myself, why am I so lucky? Is there a reason I'm so blessed? But you're never supposed to question God's work. I say God because how do you explain her patience with me? There is something about the way she understands my needs. Are there other women who would love another's children like her own? Would another woman be strong enough to trust God and take you back when you have tasted someone else's fruits? Her soul is pure enough to douse the evil that once filled my own. My vanity, pride, and smugness have been replaced with concerns, endearment, and gratefulness. I now focus on more than just my own needs. Her smile fills my heart with joy. Her tears burn at my soul and demand my immediate attention or screams for forgiveness. I am blessed with an equal. So again I ask, why am I so lucky? Does God see something in me I don't see? He must. She is sexy beyond belief, even when she sleeps. Can that comfortable look come from what I have brought to her life? The world is funny. 1 minute you're all alone, next thing all your dreams are being answered. Thank you, God. Well, the only course of action is to leave all my worries, fears, and concerns at the Lord's feet. Something about having the right woman makes each day, night, and morning special. I really do have the perfect woman.
If only in my mind. I really do have the perfect woman, if only in my mind. Perfect Woman, page 26, in A Man in Transition by K.L. Belvin. Yeah, that piece and two other pieces were the pieces that I traveled around the country and performed at different places. And I would always try to explain to couples that you can become more of what you want to become when you can understand that if you have the partner that's right for you, you have perfection. That's why I would always ask the crowd, does perfection exist? And they'd all yell out, no, there's no way, nah. And I've asked you guys a couple of times, does perfection exist? No, there's no way. It can exist, if only in your mind. And if it's in your mind, then it's perfect. And that's why I said, I really do have the perfect woman, if only in my mind. And that, my friends, is the end. Have a wonderful weekend. Blessings. Thank you so much for taking some time with me. Thank you. And again, all my information is in my bio. If I am the counselor that you believe you need, then reach out. All my information is there. Do a Google search first. Research me. Don't just believe me because I tell you. Research me, see who I am, and you will see that there's a ton of receipts out there long before you reach out. But if you think you're ready and you need counseling and you feel you need some help with whatever you're dealing with, I am the person to do that. I'm not just some TikTok dude who's on. I'm actually on all websites, and I've been around for years, and I'm here to help those that need it. So if you think you're ready and that's something that you want to invest in yourself, let's go. I'm here to help you. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. God bless.